Since the 70s, the number of children on stimulant drugs for behaviour or learning difficulties has increased 40-fold. Since the 90s, there has been a dramatic increase in the numbers of young children using antidepressant medication, including 3,000 Prozac prescriptions for babies under the age of 12 months in the USA.
When I mention behaviour, most people think of hyperactivity, but there's a huge range of symptoms, including the quiet ones who are often overlooked. Some of the main symptoms are foggy brain, disorganised, forgetful, and difficulty concentrating. Everything I say applies equally to children and adults, so if you were one of those mothers, like me, who had amnesia of pregnancy and it didn't go away after you had your baby, consider that you might be food intolerant yourself.
And we both felt as though we could think a lot clearer as well.
Gee, more clarity, yeah, not so foggy in the head, yeah.
These are the kids who always forget their homework, their lunch boxes, their towels.
He was just much more organised, less forgetful, less anxious. Just an amazing change.
When 800 New York schools introduced a low additive school lunch program, the number of students classified as learning disabled dropped from over 12% to less than 5% in just 4 years.
The report card always says, could do better if they tried, but it's not a lack of trying. Something in their food is stopping these children from concentrating.
Speech therapist would be looking at Ashley and then she would turn around and look at me with this total look of amazement of like, what have you done? Just this transformation in 10 weeks. She improved in 10 weeks, 12 months with her comprehension and 7 months with her reading. It was just amazing. That was amazing to me.
He can spell much better. His handwriting's improved immensely. From underachieving in maths, when I went to his maths teacher to say, look, this is weird, this child's really bright at maths, what's going on, to after a few weeks on the diet, he was back to top of the class.
I cut out getting Maccas or any junk food like that about 6 months ago. Kind of felt really low self-esteem and everything, and then I've started to feel better, and more optimistic, and I don't have much problem with anything anymore, and I can be confident, and schoolwork's way easier to do, and even Mr. D would say I've been doing more of my homework.
I find that dairy products also have sort of an effect on concentration. I'm okay with creative subjects, but when it comes to mathematics, to logical thinking, it's like there's this fog and I just can't concentrate on what I'm trying to do. It's really frustrating. We were trying that one time with yogurt and I just found my grades started slipping and I couldn't think about anything. It was awful. I'd hate to have that all the time.
Since 1945, there has been a 10-fold increase in major depression.
Most people aren't aware that anxiety, panic attacks or depression in both children and adults can be associated with food chemicals.
And our youngest one had great anxiety at school, and when we took on the diet, we decided to do that for our eldest son, but we included the youngest one, and we weren't aware that at the same time it would actually help our child who had anxiety problems. We noticed the younger one improving as well, and his confidence started to return, and within the school they noticed the difference probably within about a week as well.
When I eat bananas and chocolate, I get really irritated and annoyed. I cry and get depressed, and I get into trouble really easily.
That a lot of my anxiety and depression that I've carried for years, that's food related. Amy's out of my diet, I'm an awful lot better. So that was wonderful, and much more energy, less sort of falling asleep at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I highly recommend it for mothers and fathers and everybody just to try.
The 4 of us did it, and I noticed immediately too that I was much calmer, and the same thing, probably not as anxious. And I think through having children like this, I would probably say that I probably did have some depression, because it got to the point where he was just so hard to deal with. It was just a depressing experience, and I didn't realise it at the time until I went into the fail-safe. That just, was resolved.